Like, share and subscribe for more great Cobra Kai content. Turn on notifications to never miss another Cobra Kai video again. Help get this video to 100 likes if you would like us to keep releasing more Cobra Kai videos like this one. Please share this video on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram and other social media platforms, to help new and old fans find these Cobra Kai videos. Today's story was written by East West Sun. Please remember to support the writers on social media. And now let's begin. Aisha Robinson was sitting in front of her laptop. Tears were forming in her eyes. As like every other day, her mailbox was now full with terrible messages. Another mean comment directed at Aisha. You don't deserve to have any friends. Go away. The messages were mostly anonymous. The accounts were unnamed and fake. She was feeling that every single day, she was becoming alone and alone. Even her childhood friend, Samantha Larusso, was ignoring her. She was now bosom buddies with Yasmine and Moon. She looked at her image in the large mirror. She actually knew that she was not typically, what they said, stylish, and sexy. But that did not mean she would be a constant target of harassing and cyberbullying. Suddenly, her phone started vibrating. Someone sent her a WhatsApp message. Again, another mean text. She thought to herself. But her curiosity took control over her. She took her phone and checked the message. It was a picture of a small blonde kid with glasses. The boy was younger than her. A name was printed on the picture. Bert. She read the name. It was odd, she thought. Someone must make some mistake in the number. But no number was showing in her phone, just two words, private number. Number with restricted ID, interesting. Then suddenly her phone vibrated again. It was another WhatsApp message from that private number. It said, Ms. Aisha Robinson, this boy will meet you in the evening. I am entrusting both of you with very important information. Such information can change not only your lives but also it can change a lot of people's lives. Please, use the information wisely. Both of you must not share this with anyone. You have very big responsibility on your shoulders. I have trust on both of you. You have intellect, cool heads and better judgmental qualities. I wish you best of luck. Aisha read the message again and again. Someone entrusted her with information that can change life. But why someone would choose her? She was just a fat, nerdy, bullied, lonely girl. It must be some cruel prank. She thought to herself. That conclusion seemed perfect in her mind. This was just a prank to make her feel embarrassed again. No one will come in the evening. She threw her phone on the bed and took her physics book. Study always made her forget all bad things in life. The wall clock in her room rang 5 times. It was 5 p.m. She got up from her bed and took a packet of chips. Suddenly she heard a knock at the door. Aisha, honey, you have a visitor. She heard her mom's voice from outside. Huh. She thought to herself. Those prank stars took it very seriously then. She opened the door and went to the living room. There at the living room, a small blonde boy was sitting on a sofa. Aisha Robinson knew that face. The same face from that picture. Bert. She could not help but asked. Bert stood up from the sofa. He extended a hand towards her. Miss Robinson? It's nice to meet you. Aisha took his hand then studied his face. That boy did not look like a prank star. In his eyes, there was a certain type of simplicity. His face alone said that the boy was trustworthy. Let's go to my room, she said. Bert followed her with a nod. They entered her room. Aisha closed the door. Let's get to the point. Are you a part of some very great practical joke on me? Aisha asked the boy, giving him a stern look. I can ask you the same thing, Miss Robinson. This is not nice to prank a boy younger than you. Bert replied. Then he pulled out a DVD box from his jacket's pocket. I got this yesterday night. Someone delivered it in a parcel with a letter. At first I also thought it as a prank, but you know my curiosity overwhelmed me, and I come here. Aisha took the DVD box. It had a logo on the cover. The logo was of a black and yellow snake. 3 sentences were circulating the snake. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Above the logo, there were 2 wires printed in yellow. Cobra Kai. Aisha read the name. The name sounded unfamiliar. Then she looked at Bert. "Do you have the letter with you?" she asked. Bert took a brown envelope from his pocket and handed her. The letter and the envelope both had no names. It was typed in a typewriter. The letter had exactly same message that she got, except for one extra line. Bert was instructed to watch the DVD with her. "Can we watch it now?" he asked, somewhat impatient. Aisha took her laptop and took a disc from the box. The box had 2 discs, numbers were written on them. She took the first disc and inserted into her laptop. After an hour, both of them were shockingly staring at the computer screen, unable to believe what was happening in front of their eyes. The DVD had something like a television show. But the most incredible thing was that she saw faces she knew. At the first episode, she saw Daniel LaRusso, Samantha, Yasmine and Moon. She also saw Kyler and his gang bullying a Hispanic teenager, when a shabby-looking man beat the hell out of them. In the second episode, she even saw herself with her dad in the country club's party. Now her head was actually spinning. The dress she was wearing in that show was the one her dad gave her today morning. The party in the country club would be held after 4 days. That means only one thing. But Aisha Robinson was a lover of science, and still her mind took the impossible and insane solution. "Do you know what this means, Bert?" Her voice was shaking now. Bert, who was watching silently, now looked into her eyes. "It shows life stories of people whom we know and I think we will know in future. Do you see Johnny Lawrence fixing the fuse box of a house? That was my house. 3 days ago, he fixed that thing." He scratched his head. He was in deep thought. "It also shows future. That party will be held after 4 days." Bert's eyes were now actually popping out from his face. He tried to say something when suddenly his phone rang. "Oh, it's my mom," Bert said after checking his messages. "Well, I have to go today." "Wait a minute. I need you to do something. Do you have a computer?" Bert nodded affirmatively. Aisha copied the contents of 2 DVDs in a pen drive and handed him. "We both watched 2 episodes together. Since we don't have that amount of time, we will both watch the episodes in our respective houses. We will do one more thing. Both of us will make notes about the main features which we could change. Can you do it?" "Yes, Miss Robinson." Bert stood up. A smile formed in her face. "Please, call me Aisha." She extended her hand. "It is nice to meet you too." It was a Saturday evening when Aisha first met Bert. That little kid came to her house, and they both went in the rabbit hole. The next day, Aisha went to Bert's house, and they discussed and chatted. That kid was just like her, nerdy, lonely and without friends. His parents were happy that their little boy was now finally making friends, be it a girl older than her. Aisha knew her parents also feel the same. Now it was Monday evening and both of them were standing in front of the Reseda Mini Mart. Both of them were looking at a brand new signboard. Cobra Kai Karate. Aisha felt her hands shaking. She swallowed a little bit. "Are you feeling nervous?" Bert asked her. "A little bit, but yes. This time, it's just not learning karate, but a lot more responsibilities," she replied in a dry voice. Bert took her right hand into his tiny left hand and squeezed it lightly. Aisha smiled at him. "Let's do this," she said. Both of them entered the dojo and saw Miguel. He was standing at a corner, punching a dummy. A tall, blonde, black-clad man was standing next to him. "Are you a loser?" that man barked. "No, sensei." Miguel punched the dummy, hard. "Are you a nerd?" that man shouted. "No, sensei." Miguel shouted and punched the dummy even harder. The dummy was shaking violently now. Then that man turned his face and his deep blue eyes fall over them. "Welcome to Cobra Kai," he said, looking at Bert. After a little bit of, "No girls in Cobra Kai," Miguel convinced him just like in the DVD, Sensei Johnny Lawrence enlisted them as his students. "So, Miss Robinson, why do you want to join Cobra Kai?" Sensei asked her. "I am fed up being the constant target of cyberbullying. Now I want to kick some ass," Aisha said. "And I want to help you find your redemption, Sensei." she thought. She told him about her constant harassment. How she got abusive messages every day. Sensei Lawrence listened all of them with a scowl in his face. Then he gave a small lecture about how in his time, one can harass someone in his face. Then the dreaded time came. Sensei Lawrence ordered her and Miguel to fight. Miguel was skeptical, just as before. But Aisha was now prepared. She took a deep breath and stood on the mat. "I am sorry," Miguel said. Then in a swift motion, he punched her in her stomach. Aisha felt like her full body was flying in the air. That punch was powerful. Only one punch knocked her over the mat. "Oh my God. Aisha, you okay? I am so sorry." Miguel came to her, holding his hand. Aisha took her hand and somehow stood up. Then, with a scream, she lunged on him. Miguel was not prepared for an attack. She tackled him on the mat and jumped on him, attacking his torso. "OWW, my ribs." Miguel screamed in pain. Sensei Lawrence, who was watching them till now, came to them. "The girl is a natural cobra," he muttered, with a smile in his face. Then he looked at Bert. "Let's see what you got, kid. Come here, punch this dummy." Bert, who was watching silently, came to the dummy and took a fighting position. Then he started punching that dummy. Meanwhile, Johnny Lawrence was looking at his two new students. Both of them were not Cobra Kai material by physique, but their minds were strong. Now he would mold them into fighters, badass and courageous fighters. No one could ever harass them. After the training, the three students took a stroll, chatting happily. Miguel Diaz was happy, because he finally got some new friends to talk. Aisha told him that she will add him to her Facebook friend list. Then the three happy kids went to their homes, hoping for a new day. Meanwhile, a certain car dealership owner was having trouble concentrating in his work. Today morning, while driving in front of the mini-mart in Reseda, he saw something. Something that shaken his core. It is like a ghost from his past came to haunt him again. 31 years have been passed, but Daniel LaRusso felt every single incident just like something happened in yesterday. Then he heard his wife and business associate, Amanda, calling him from outside his chamber. It took every single ounce of his willpower to get his mind away from the new Cobra Kai dojo and start doing his work again. "Darling, the club sent us the invitation for the party," his wife said to him in an excited tone. Daniel smiled at her. He was indeed very lucky to have a wife like Amanda. He could depend on her in any situation. He was blessed with her and her two lovely children. His life was perfect. Mr. Miyagi would be very proud on him. But still, he felt that a thorn was poking in his bliss. That thorn which was now slowly taking the shape of a coiled cobra. Bert was looking at a piece of paper. The paper had names written on it. He was thinking about their next step of work. Aisha told her to make a list of tasks. He made that list yesterday night. "My first priority is Miguel, Samantha and Hawk," he thought to himself. Then he corrected himself. "No, Hawk should be priority number 1. Yes, he will be my first priority." His mind is messed up. Cobra Kai gives us raw power. He was so much bullied in school. When he got power, his character darkened. Now we have to prevent it at any cost. We need Hawk with the kind heart of Eli. Suddenly he heard a knock on his door. It was his mom. "Hey, honey, can I come in?" she asked. "Yes, Mom." He put the list in his exercise book. His mom entered the room. She has a worried expression in her face. "How was your karate class yesterday?" she asked. "It was great," he said with an excited smile. "I even made some new friends." "Bert, don't you think that karate is a little violent for a boy like you?" His mom tried to make a casual tone, but she failed miserably. "Mom, a person could not hide from his fears every time. There is a time when he must face it. If he is not prepared, then he will fall over his face in the ground. Yes, karate is a contact sport, but it will make me strong and brave. You want that, right?" His mom looked at him with popped eyes. Then she gave him a bear hug. "My baby boy is finally growing up. Where do you learn to speak like that?" She kissed him in his cheek and ruffled his blonde hair. "Mom." Bert blushed like a tomato. "What?" You are my baby boy and you will always be my baby boy. Now get ready or you will be late for school. Miguel was sitting at a table in the cafeteria. The table was occupied by two boys, Dimitri and Eli. He was chatting with them when he saw Aisha. She was not alone, Bert was with her. "Hey Aisha," he called her. She looked at him and waved her hand. Then both of them came to their table. "Can we sit here?" she asked him. Miguel looked at Dimitri. "Oh, yeah, I guess so," Dimitri said. He was actually astonished that their usual table is being occupied by more people today. The majority of kids in school actually avoided the nerd and the kid with the weird lip. But today, 3 more people were sitting in their table. "Hey Dimitri, where is your mind today?" He heard Aisha asking him. "Actually this is a dream. I will definitely wake up in the morning on my bed." No way in earth, there are 2.5 more people sitting in this school's official losers table. Dimitri said, closing his eyes. Since his eyes were closed, he could not see Bert, who stood up from his chair, went to him and pinched him hard on his hand. "Ouch. Oh ooh." Dimitri actually jumped up from his chair. He somehow managed himself on it and tried to glare at Bert. "Why did you do that? You know how much that hurts. Do you know that human nails can contain poison? What if I get septicemia from it?" Everyone in the table, including Eli, rolled their eyes at him. Bert looked directly into his eyes. "I did that for 2 reasons. First, to wake you up so you realize that you are in school cafe, with your friends, and second, for calling me a half. I am not a half," he said, sternly. "He got you there, buddy," Eli said with a smile on his lips. The usually shy and reserved boy did not express his emotion often. This is one such precious moment when he naturally smiled. "You too, Eli." Dimitri pouted, causing another wave of laughter in that table. Miguel was laughing when his eyes caught sight of a table in the corner. 3 girls were sitting in that table. One of them caught his eyes and he felt something in his heart. That girl, he thought, was breathtakingly beautiful. He did not know how much time he was staring at her when a voice broke his trance. "That is Samantha Larusso, daughter of Daniel Larusso." What?" Miguel looked at Aisha, who was looking at his face with a serious expression. "The girl whom you are ogling is Samantha Larusso, daughter of Daniel Larusso." Aisha repeated her line again. "She is beautiful," Miguel said in an awestruck voice. Suddenly he saw a boy who went to Samantha and sat beside her. He put a hand on her shoulder. Miguel knew the face of that boy well. He was the leader of those bullies who harassed him outside the mini-mart, and got their asses kicked out by Sensei Lawrence. He felt something crushed inside his heart. "Don't be sad. Those girls are out of our bound," he heard Dimitri said to him. He did not say anything and concentrated on his food when heard Aisha's voice. "You know, Sam and I were best friends in childhood. But, with time, she became hot and sexy and I became a fat, ugly nerd. We drifted apart and she is now friends with the popular sort of school. I made my peace with it, but sometime it hurts very much." Her voice was full with sadness. Miguel was not sure what to say when he heard a meek but deep voice. It was Eli, who was quietly listening. "You are a good person, Aisha, don't you ever forget that. I know you are not sitting with us out of sympathy, because you need friends. So do me and Dimitri. We need friends who will not judge us for being a shitlip, or a freak or a nerd. So, are we friends?" "Yes, Eli and Dimitri, I love to become your friend," Aisha said. "So do I," Miguel said. He was feeling literally blessed for having these guys as his friends. They were way better than those rich bullies. He smiled in joy when a voice piped. "Hey. Aren't you forgetting someone?" All 4 of them looked at the source of the voice. It was Bert, who was pouting in mock anger. He was looking so adorable and hilarious that all of them started laughing again. Bert gave all of them a stern look and then he also started laughing. In this all-comedy moments, Aisha thanked the unknown entity in her mind. She would not be stuck in cement by trying to mend her relationship with Sam. She got new friends today, and she will move forward with them in the dojo. She vowed that to herself. After the lunch break, she bid goodbye to her new friends. Miguel, Dimitri and Eli had biology class, while she had physics. She was walking happily towards her classroom when she bumped into someone. The person fell down on the floor, but Aisha somehow managed her balance by grabbing a shelf. It was a girl. She was wearing a green hoodie. Aisha could not see her face. "I am so sorry. I should have watched the road. Are you hurt?" Aisha extended her hand. The girl did not say anything. She silently took her hand and managed herself to get up. Her face was still not visible because of the hoodie and her long brown hair. But then Aisha saw something that sends chills through her spine. There was a bracelet in her left hand. A familiar spiked bracelet. Aisha looked at the girl who was now standing in front of her. Her mind was getting blank, she could not process what was happening. Now she saw the face. The same face which she saw in the DVD. The face which was smiling at her, slowly changed into a frown. Tori, the name flashed in her mind. Suddenly she heard her speaking. "Why the hell are you looking at me like that?" Tori asked her in an irritated tone. "I am sorry." Aisha somehow controlled herself. Her eyes again went to the bracelet. Tori noticed that too. In a swift motion, she moved her hand with the spiked bracelet in front of the other girl's face. Aisha flinched. "That thing scared you?" she said, her frown again changed into a smile. Aisha did not say anything. She just nodded her head. "You know, honey, the world is full of predators. They will tear down your flesh at the first chance. So this is my protection from them. By the way, my name is Tori, with a Y." Tori said. "Aisha Robinson." They shook hands again. Both of them had the same class, physics. They headed together towards the classroom. But Aisha could not concentrate a bit in the class. The thoughts in her mind were forming a complex cobweb. Tori was right in center of that web. After school, Aisha was walking alone towards the gate, hoping to find his new friends. She was just walking down the stairs when a strong hand grabbed her wrist. Aisha was startled at first, and then she saw Tori, who was standing in front of her, with a grin in her face. "Leaving without me?" she asked her in a joyful tone. Aisha looked into her eyes, trying to find the insane, jealous and psychotic girl in her. But she failed miserably to find anything. "Hello." Earth to Aisha, "Can you hear me? Why? I mean, why are you doing this to me? Nobody wants to be my friend, so why you?" Aisha did not know what prompted her to say that. It was like her tongue had its own mind. "I want to be your friend because you are a good person in heart, Aisha Robinson. You are not like those rich queen bees who got everything in life for granted. You know, you are that rare combination with money, brain and kindness. If you aren't, then I won't bother with you." Tori said in a hard tone, and then she turned to leave. "Stop." Aisha called her. Tori stopped and came to her. "I am sorry for my behavior. But until yesterday, I had no friends in this school. They don't want to be friends with me, because I am ugly, fat and a nerd. Every day I get hate messages, my inbox becomes full of them. So I just find it hard to accept that a girl like you wants to be my friend. You know, I could not bear to lose another friend. Just today, I get new friends. They are also misfits like me." Aisha stopped because Tori's right hand sealed her mouth. "Man, Aisha, don't give me a lecture. I want us to become friends, it's as simple as that. Now come on, let's meet your so-called misfit friends." Tori pulled up her hand. Aisha looked at her and smiled. There was hope for this girl, she thought to herself. At the same time, a tall, bald man was getting out of a bus in Encino. He then started walking. His destination is the local bishop's house. "So, Pastor Robert Brown, you have transferred in your local area then?" After reading the documents, Bishop Ridley asked him with a smile. "Your Eminence, I assure you." Bobby Brown tried to say something, but the bishop stopped him with a gesture of his hand. "I know, Pastor. It was Bishop Emmanuel, who actually placed you here. But don't worry. I know him from a very long time. If he took steps like these to place you here, then there must be some cause. Bishop Emmanuel is that kind of man who will go to any path for saving mankind, and sometimes I felt that he can predict the future. But he sent me this message yesterday, and I did not understand a bit of it. Can you make something from it? Bishop Ridley handed him a paper. Bobby Brown took the paper and started reading. It said, "A snake shaded his skin again. He wanted to teach the weaklings to defend themselves. He had good intention in heart, but his footsteps are flawed. Another snake must come to him to correct his flaws. They will face some difficulties from the small tree, but their path can be cleared. A snakeling will join hands with the small tree, but it will bear sweet fruit. Another snakelet must control his heart and mind and follow his head. But the snakes must took care every one of the snakelings and especially the hunter bird. The bird's soul was shattered, it must be sewed to proper form. But they must beware of the big bad snake. P.S. 2 tiny snakelets can help and the spiked snakelet must get rid of all her venoms." Bobby read the letter 2 more times but he did not make a thing out of that. But he vaguely remembered that Bishop Emmanuel told him something like that before his leaving. He also said that all snakes were not evil. Pastor Brown. His trail of thoughts shattered by the voice of Bishop Ridley. "Forgive me, Your Eminence." Bobby handed the letter to the bishop but the latter declined. "Keep it with you. Take this day and settle down in your quarters. Oh, I almost forgot, the movers sent your motorcycle yesterday. It is in the shed. See you next day, Bobby." Bobby bid goodbye to the bishop and left. There were a lot of thoughts going inside his mind. First, there was the worst news about his friend Tommy. Tommy got blood cancer, last stage. The doctors actually gave the ultimatum, maximum 5 to 7 months. Then his sudden transfer and the bishop's cryptic message that did not make any sense. No more thoughts. He thought to himself. Then he took out his motorcycle and left. He needed to buy some essential things so he turned his bike to Reseda. After some time, his motorcycle stopped in front of Reseda Mini Mart. Then Bobby Brown saw something for which he was not prepared. At the Mini Mart, he saw a brand new signboard. Cobra Kai Karate, it said. And that's the end of the story. Did you enjoy it? Let us know what you think in the comments. Help get this video to 100 likes if you would like us to keep releasing more Cobra Kai videos like this one. Don't forget to subscribe, and turn on notifications to never miss another Cobra Kai video again. Please share this video on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram and other social media platforms, to help new and old fans find these Cobra Kai videos. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.